What is up, fanboys and fangirls? Welcome back to another episode of the What the Fanboy Show. Tonight we're gonna be reviewing Civil War. We'll be talking about the new Fallout show.
It's been a while since we've reviewed an MCU movie.
Oh yeah, we're re-reviewing
Probably
Captain
my
America
favorite
Civil War.
memes that have come out of that movie.
We had to get ours out of the way quick.
Yeah, thank you for just
We won't be making that joke.
dropping that in the intro. Yeah, no, that's great.
That's what they think.
And then we've got lots of news, but we have quite a few trailers to get through first. Luke, our resident master of the trailers over there, you wrote them all down, right?
All the ones we were watching?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. Some of them are not worth mentioning.
Okay, fair enough. Well, what are we gonna start with? Oh, I guess we don't have to jump right in. Anything you guys want to talk about before we jump in? The trailers. I don't mean to just rush us.
There's two specific trailers I'm excited to talk about in general. So
I know.
Look at this guy.
it's like the worst kept secret. I feel like.
Yeah, so let's jump into the trailers. Tyler, lead us off.
Dark Matter.
Of course.
Finally got a trailer for that.
Yep.
Looks bigger than I thought they would go.
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, just finished listening to the audiobook today. I've decided. We've talked about audiobooks before, Luke. You and I definitely have, and how I don't like them.
You've been so anti-audiobook for so long.
So I've learned that I can do audiobooks if I've read the book before. So like it's good for rereads is to listen to it. Because then if I tune out, it's not as big a deal. Because I remember most of it, right? So I re-listened to that, and of course the trailer came out last week. I'm really excited, man. I think this is casted incredibly well. I'm very curious to see how they do the large scale stuff in this story, because at the end of that book, I mean, it gets pretty nutso, pretty quick.
All right.
So I'm that was the hydration station. So I'm pretty excited. I think everything looks good. I love that Crouch is the showrunner. Like keeping the author on as a showrunner, I think is really cool, and I hope it doesn't suck. Apple's good at sci-fi, so I trust it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's even on their stuff that I think has some missed the mark for some people. Like there's enough kind of redeeming qualities there, and the fact that he's been as involved as Blake Crouch, right? Like he's been involved in this production. Gives me a lot of faith in it. So the trailer was awesome. I give it a big old thumbs up.
Yeah, it's a thumbs up for me. I think the other thing too, like Crouch had come out and said, he's like, I wrote the book. I like the show more, and I thought that was interesting. Yeah, he said they added some stuff. So I'm wondering if it's stuff that he cut out of his book that he was able to add back in because it worked better visually. It looks like they gave Daniela, played by Jennifer Connelly, more to do. So maybe that's some of the stuff that he left out.
All right.
Just really looking forward to it.
Luke, you gave it a sideways thumb.
My mic was over there also. Hello, everybody. Yeah, I thought it looked okay. I am worried about the scope.
Yeah, it's big.
I don't know, just with TV, especially in a first season or limited series.
Oh, fair.
I think it'll be a limited series. They could go. I think depending on how it's received, they could decide to keep it going, but I don't think it will be.
If it's a limited series, less worried. But the problem with TV is it always escalates, and that's always worrying to me. The only show I really feel like handled that well, especially with like sci-fi, was The Expanse. Especially because like Amazon got the rights, and their first season was, hey, we're all on this planet, and just things aren't that great.
Yeah.
And it was like just condensed so much, and then they kind of went out to more in their Civil War that was going around the solar system, but just like it's always like, oh, how will the effects look on my TV? And like Foundation did not work for me. I don't know if it was scope or not, but
sure, it
was a pretty show.
It's a complicated show, right? Like that has so many storylines, and just in the sense of I felt like Foundation had to craft a lot more of that personal aspect to it, and I can understand. We talked about this a little bit, Luke, but I can understand why you didn't hop back on in season 2. And like I watched season 2 and I enjoyed it. I think it was better than season 1. At the same time, it's a TV show, and sometimes they take swings you don't expect, and sometimes they play it too safe, and so it'll be interesting. It's always interesting, especially adaptations where they land on that.
Yeah, and I don't think, like, from an effects standpoint, the biggest CG moment is a city collapsing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, everything else is pretty much humans talking and trying not to
Humans
die.
talking.
Yeah. So, like, I
The
feel
budget must be insane.
I feel
Wait,
like
what was
it'll be
Women
pretty
Talking's
safe.
budget, and we'll double it to include.
So it'll be $10 million.
Because there's more than just women.
Right.
Yeah, I think from an effects standpoint, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I don't worry about that as much. I just worry about how it's received, honestly, because it's pretty bonkers. Like it's a crazy concept. One that's been done before, sure, but definitely has its own little flavor.
Yeah.
So,
It reminded me of Enemy.
Mhm.
Like I was watching the trailer and I was just like, man, I should watch Enemy again.
Yeah.
That movie was nuts.
That
It
is-
but it is such an indie film. Like it's the complete opposite.
yeah, it's probably my biggest bone to pick with the trailer is just that they reveal a lot, and not that like the reveal is this thing that you don't see coming. The bigger reveals are later in the story, but it's like, man, why would you give that up? Like that's the big spoiler in your first episode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would you do that? But it's
gotta
fine.
gotta hook them in.
Yeah, I think the book has a big enough audience; it'll bring people in. I think the first few episodes will do really well.
Good.
From a viewing point.
I mean, Apple did Silo, and I loved that. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think most of Apple's
There's
stuff has been
sci-fi.
pretty well received.
Yeah,
So
it's not.
that
It's
beer movie.
the greatest beer run.
Yeah, that was okay.
I don't think their movies have been other than
As
like
good,
Coda, right? But like Coda
Killer-
was just a
Killers of the
was just
Flower
a-
Moon.
was just a pickup. Okay, fine.
Napoleon.
This year.
Napoleon was okay.
The movie. I didn't
We're
know.
talking averages here. Not...
Tetris.
Ooh,
Tetris was
Tetris
good.
was good.
Tetris was good. Dun, dun,
Go ahead and
dun,
prove me
dun,
wrong
dun,
some
dun,
more. No,
dun,
no, no.
dun, dun, dun,
I
dun,
didn't.
dun,
I
No,
didn't
so
see.
that-
What is it? Is it? What's the Tom Hanks ship movie?
Gray something.
Grey Havens, Greyhound.
Greyhound.
Was
What was
one
the
good?
other Tom
That was
Hanks
good.
movie? What was the one where he's like teaching a robot how to be a dog?
Oh yeah.
Oh shoot.
Finch.
Finch.
Finch was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're just wrong.
Okay.
Embrace
I'm wrong.
that.
They make the movie where the Russians got to the moon first. This show.
You know what's interesting?
For All Mankind.
Yeah, that's a good show.
with Apple, and this is just the obvious, like there's a difference here between movies and TV. TV is like, hey, let's keep this story going, but Apple hasn't done any sequels to any of their but I think they've invested in movies that aren't necessarily
Ghosted.
franchise.
Ghosted was good. If you want to die,
Ghosted was not good, and it will not receive a sequel. Hopefully.
it was horrible.
So-
oh man,
No, anyways.
I can't believe I finished that movie.
Baroque in the chat says Napoleon made me perpetually unexcited for all future Ridley Scott projects. What a dud. Sorry, Baroque.
But watch Dark Matter because Ridley Scott didn't do that.
Let's wait till Napoleon 2, back on the island comes out.
I think it'd be more interesting.
Napoleon 2, Short Man Returns.
Napoleon. It's just Napoleon again, and it's the exact same thing, but with Napoleon Dynamite instead of Napoleon Bonaparte.
Dude.
Napoleon Dynamite in
What a son!
Revolution
Gosh!
France.
What's the wife's name? Josephine?
Yeah, Josephine.
Josephine? Oh. Dang it!
Napoleon 2, more made up stuff.
Napoleon 2, Die Harder.
Oh, okay. What
just
other trailers we got? Tyler, you said there was a second one you were excited for?
Yeah, man, Outer Range.
Outer Range Season 2.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. That was today.
Yep.
And the ones that come out today are always the hardest ones to remember.
Right.
Yeah. This looks freaking
This looks
good.
bonkers, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, they were like up in the ante a little bit in this trailer. I was like, whoa, we're getting after it. I'm excited.
I'll
man.
tell you what. If you need a new show to watch, and you have Prime, watch Outer Range.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
It's dark for cowboys,
Yep.
and it's awesome.
Yeah.
That was the most random surprise that we all discovered on the same day, separately.
Yeah.
That was weird.
What were we watching? Was it that?
I think I had.
Was it Lord of the Rings?
I don't remember.
And we were like, hey, what's this Outer Range show?
What's this? Yeah.
I think I was homesick and I started it, and then I texted you, and you were like, "Dude, I watched it too."
it.
Yeah.
And then when we came here, we had said something to you, and you were like, "Yeah, I watched it too." And we were like,
It's
"What?"
like, I'm so excited to tell you guys about the show. Oh, you've already started watching it? Oh my gosh.
It was awesome.
That show kicks butt, man.
It
does.
does. So good.
Did you guys see Brolin's social media post today?
No.
It's kind of circulating.
Was it a poem to
no?
Imogen Poots or whatever? her name
No.
is?
So like he posted about the trailer being out, and basically it was kind of like, this show's awesome, it's really great, blah blah blah, and like he's like, I hope you guys will watch season 2, and he's like, and I directed an episode, and besides that episode, everything is really good. That
Oh my
episode
gosh.
sucks. He's like, that episode is terrible, but everything else is really good. And I was like, man,
I believe
he's
in Josh
hilarious.
Brolin's directing capabilities. It'll be great, Josh.
I just think that show also too, looking back, like I was looking at the cast for it again, like all of those people went on to do huge projects like a year later,
Right.
and I think that's just so awesome. And now they're all back, and I can't wait.
Heck yeah.
But like we're eating the rocks from the hole, like we're getting after it.
From the hole?
From the hole. The Black Rock. She's doing drugs.
Yeah, black tar rocks
Looked crazy.
looks crazy, and I'm in.
Big thumbs up.
Yeah, looks great. Oh, is it my turn now?
Yeah,
CinemaCon happened,
indeed.
and there was like showcases and trailers and news, and we'll get to some of that later. But the big trailer that came out of it was Joker 2, French subtitle.
Yeah,
Listen, you guys like the first movies. You guys go on right ahead.
I think I probably come off the most positive out of us three on this, and at the end of the day, I'm most excited to see what Phoenix and Gaga do performance-wise. I think that kind of visually it looks a lot like the first one. The trailer doesn't get me that excited, except in the fact that, hey, let's see what these two can do together. It's very nostalgic for the first one, which isn't like something that it should be, personally. But you know me, I'm anti-nostalgia all the time. But I also just don't think that it looks. I don't know who this movie's for.
It's for all the Joker fans.
Is it for the executives who?
I was gonna say, I think I can answer that question for you.
Yeah. So ultimately, I am curious, maybe eagerly anticipating watching performances, but there's nothing else about this trailer that gets me like, oh yeah, I'm super excited for this. I'm not super excited for it. I'm like, okay, will they give us some award-winning performances?
I am very much. I don't need this, I think, is where I land.
Yeah, we said that about the first one. And it surprised us.
Yeah.
Not that we never needed it, but like it was good.
It was. I like the first one a lot. But, like, I don't think this is being made for the right reasons. And I'm just
Sure.
a dude sitting on a couch in Wichita. But, like, I feel like this is only being made because the first one made $1 billion.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that's what's concerning. Like, the
Sure.
first one I felt like was made because the team behind it really wanted to make it.
Yeah.
They really had an idea. They wanted to execute it. Even if you remember, after that came out, like, Todd Phillips was like, I want to make a Lex Luthor movie in the same vein. Like, and he wanted to do all these other things. And then they're like, Joker 2. It's like,
Yeah.
Okay. The only, I guess, I don't think the trailer's bad. I'm with you there. I do think, I think the shot at the end of it is pretty cool. I knew Luke was going to laugh and say something negative about it, but I do think it's cool. Even if it's simple.
I think there's a couple shots that don't look horrible, and could be provocative in some way, right? Like I enjoyed
Gets
the little
people going.
I enjoyed the teaser, just that like him in the rain.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that's a good looking shot. I think that shot at the end with the smile
the lipstick
is
or
kind
whatever.
of kind of creepy, and
I just think
it's
it was
a new
cool.
way of doing it. Yeah.
There's just something different.
Yeah.
I know the internet kind of went crazy for it, and we're like, give that guy a raise. I'm like, well, I don't know about that. I just think it looks cool.
It's the same people that freaked out when Daenerys had a dragon standing behind her.
Yeah.
So annoying.
Or when Vision had his weird line that everybody loved, and I can't remember anymore.
What is love but being loved by a lover?
Grief.
What is
Something
grief if love persevering or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And people were like, "Ooh," but I did think it looked cool. Trailer's fine, whatever. I don't know. I just am very.
It's like a sideways thumb for me.
Yeah,
on the trailer.
I
Like
think
it doesn't
that's
really
pretty
move the
accurate.
needle at all. But again, I think that some of the talent that is involved
Yeah.
has potential to be really good together. It's
Yeah.
just, will it be?
I just want to hear the stories of how Joaquin just lost all that weight again.
CGI.
Not healthily.
Yeah, like that's just crazy.
He's too late in his career to be doing those kinds of things. Come on,
Right.
man. Luke, go ahead and shred this thing to bits.
Listen, I don't hate the first Joker movie, but I don't really like it that much either. I think it is held together and worth watching for a really, really good performance. And outside of that, not really that great. It's so unnecessary. I don't really think it's deserved for a sequel. And just from like a DC side of things, you had a really great opportunity do an intense mad love story and you just totally ignore it.
Yeah.
Like, why? Because I honestly don't think a comic book movie is ever going to do it, because it would be so quick. Like even just like Birds of Prey, like it went really quick through the Joker and her breaking up. It was like 2 seconds. She's just on her own already. It's like, why can't we take the time to watch a doctor, a psychiatrist be manipulated by a crazy person and fall in love with them? And instead, she's just another crazy person.
Yep.
Okay. Like, I don't know. I think it looks lazy, kind of like how the first one was Taxi Driver. Just like, oh, we're just gonna do this real quick, make some money, attach a name. Okay, whatever. Like, I can't wait for everybody to tell me how it's the greatest movie ever again. Even though it's completely average. Shout out to that shot where he lines up the lipstick. I bet it looked great from Lady Gaga's angle. She's over here. He went like this. It's stupid. Same place the music is coming from, I guess, but
Oh, I love it.
whatever.
I love it.
Is there a trailer you're happy about?
No. Here's a trailer that I think looks fun.
Okay.
Fly Me to the Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, this does look fun.
Scarlett Johansson and Channing Tatum.
Yep.
Isn't this also
And Woody
Apple?
Harrelson.
And Woody Harrelson. And
I think it was Apple.
Yeah, I think this is also
Yeah,
Apple.
yeah.
But yeah, they're kind of prepping for the moon launch and moon landing, but they're doing a lot of marketing and stuff and trying to spruce it up to get people excited. And then they're worried they're going to fail, so they decide to shoot the fake version just in case they don't make it, because they have to beat the Russians.
Yep.
And it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited. Plus, like, I'm a nut for space stuff, especially the moon and all the Apollo missions. So
We should have got Kubrick.
we should have got.
It was a
Kubrick.
great final line.
And I'm ready for all the conspiracies to come out after this.
That they're
too.
just telling us to our faces, guys. They're just dangling it in front of us, and we're just gonna ignore it.
Oh, I love it, dude. I'm excited for this. I don't know if it'll be good.
It looks fun though.
but it does look fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like a lot of fun. I'll thumbs up that one.
Yeah.
It took me like 6 tries to watch this trailer though, because every time it would come on, something would happen and I'd have to get up.
Oh no.
Usually, I see movie trailers when I watch YouTube, and now I'm just brainwashed to skip immediately when when it pops up. And so I'll be watching it and I'll see in the bottom right corner.
You just click it and you're like, oh no. Oh, I actually
okay.
could've
Whoops.
watched that
That
one.
being said, side note, YouTube ads have gone so bad, man. They're like 30-second pre-roll ads. And then I gotta watch the freaking YouTuber do some sponsor.
Yeah.
And then there's another
Like a minute and a
30-second
half
ad break. It's
sponsor.
like, YouTube used to be free. It was just free.
Luke, nothing in life is
Man.
free.
Spotify used to be free.
It's unsustainable.
I hate it, man.
Hey, Luke, America used to be free.
America is free.
I'm trying to trigger him on something that's not working. Anyways, what other trailers do we have?
You are?
I don't know.
What are you trying to trigger? me
Not
with?
nothing specifically.
Oh.
Just letting you go on another rant.
I can go complain about how Joker looks like absolute garbage again. You know what? That's not true. It doesn't look like garbage. The soundtrack will be great, and I'm sure it'll look pretty.
Yeah.
And the score will be great. I could care less about the music they're adding in that they're all gonna sing. Whatever. I do have. I do have another.
Sometimes I can't even tell if it's real or not. Like sometimes I think it's a bit.
a bit of my.
You're just the negativity. Like I can't tell if it's real or not sometimes. When you're really pouring it on, I think it's a bit.
I'll give you a little trade secret. Usually the positivity is a little more fake.
Oh no.
I just ruined everything for everybody.
What's next?
Anyway, Out of Range looks freaking terrible. No, I was kidding. No, there was a Final Shape showcase this past week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Bungie just decided to give Destiny players everything they've been asking for the Final Shape because they know it's the end. And I'm very, very excited. They're giving us a new subclass, which is just, hey, combine all your subclasses.
And by, let's be clear, by give, he means...
Oh, buy.
You have to buy it.
Yeah.
But, like,
Oh, no,
they
buy
are
it.
It's not
making
free?
it.
What was I talking about?
Prism?
Prism. Yeah, Prism. There's
Is
a
it
new
Prism?
subclass.
No, Prismatic.
Sure.
I
I don't remember.
Prism. I like Prism more.
Okay, cool.
It's probably
Prism.
prismatic though.
Can I get the Venom? Prism, Venom. Great movie. See? Fake positivity.
See, but I can tell there.
Anyway, you can just combine your light and dark subclasses, and it looks like so
They're
much
kind of
fun.
pre-curated which abilities, but
Well, thank goodness. Otherwise, the game would explode.
I know. I think it could be kind of fun.
No, I don't want my Xbox to explode.
The last week of Destiny 2, they should just let you just free reign.
But it's.
You can carry 2 supers.
I feel like maybe in Destiny 1, couldn't you have like a solar grenade and a void bubble or something? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
But I feel like this is something people have been asking for forever. And I'm very excited. They're also adding a new faction, like an actual faction, which is funny because it's right before the end. So we'll probably never fight this race again.
Oh, like a new enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Witnesses bros.
I saw something that had wings.
Yeah, it's a bat with a gun. Looks awesome.
I love it.
But it's very, very exciting. It got the Destiny community very, very excited.
Pretty hyped, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it all dropped like at the same time as their new update dropped, and it's very fun as well. So, man, it's nice to have the Destiny peeps be happy for once this year.
I would say they'll be able to carry that goodwill through what, August maybe, and then people will start complaining again.
No. They're already complaining.
Oh, okay.
Drop rates aren't high enough. Blah, 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 blah. Super rare, but I don't get it enough. Blah, 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 blah. Ah, be quiet, man. Like, just have fun. Like, whatever.
Cool.
But yeah, I'm very excited to play Destiny in June.
Yeah.
I'm excited to play it tomorrow. I've been playing it all week.
Nice. All right. Well, if that brings us to the end of our trailer section, we'll jump into our review of Captain America Civil... Oh, no. Not Captain America? Alex Garland's Civil War. A24's Civil War.
Yes.
A bit of a different tone. And,
You know what? Somehow less political.
Right? Somehow.
Like, I feel like that is a great starting point. Because I feel like we should just mention it. If you saw this trailer and you're like, politics, this is like the least political movie of the year, probably.
Probably.
It's just journalists doing stuff during a bad situation. That's the story.
Yeah.
I've heard it's pretty right down the middle politically.
The story is very much a...
Well,
what are
you have no idea whose side is who, like the entire movie.
Yeah.
So
It is not stating any
One side's right or wrong.
kind of well, even like what does this group stand for versus this group? Right?
you have no idea why the war even started.
Yep.
It's just
You
people
are-
fighting.
You show up in the final 3 days of the war,
Oh, that's kind of fun.
and it's like, okay, what is the human, I don't know, condition during this? So it's about this.
It's
group
more about-
of journalists who are trying to kind of get the last big story of the war, right? Like they're gonna get to that's not a spoiler. That's pretty early on stated. Get to
That's why they're all
DC,
traveling together.
right? Yeah, it's getting to DC and seeing if they can get like an interview with the president before everything, before the war is over.
Mhm. It's more of just a war journalist movie than an actual war movie.
If anything, it's at its most political. It's probably an anti-war movie. Even then, I would say that it's not very open about that. I think it shows you the horrors of war in a very uncomfortable setting, aka
Home.
modern day America. But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie in like a weird way, right? Like,
Yeah.
I appreciated what it had to show me, and not necessarily. I don't mind when a movie has an angle, has something it's trying to. Movies can get preachy, but it's okay for it to have a stance. This movie's stance is very, like, we're trying to be a neutral stance, and I appreciated that kind of change of pace.
I think it adds a lot.
It does. It lets you.
It lets you kind of project,
Yeah.
which can be dangerous, but
Yeah,
also
true.
like I think it just adds mystery to it. It's just like what is going on?
Yeah.
Like there's even a scene where two people are shooting at each other and like, who are you shooting at? And they're like, the guys who's shooting at us.
Yeah.
They're like, you don't know who they are? And they're like, nope.
Nope.
And that's all they say. There's like, nope.
Nope.
And yeah, I really enjoyed it too. With that being said, I will also state that it was an interesting feeling leaving the theater when it ended.
Sure.
I would say I really enjoyed it all the way through, and then like the last 5 to 10 minutes I was like, okay, this is different.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was over.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, it's over. And like just the intense feeling that I had throughout the entire movie, I felt like wore off kind of quick.
Yeah.
Just because of the abrupt ending.
I sat through about half of the credits and just kind of ruminated on it.
Ooh, I sat through the whole
Oh,
credits.
look at you.
Get on my level, son.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. But I almost think that that's ending it in that manner is saying something,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Like what is up on screen during the beginning of the credits, like I think that's like there's a message there that I think I'm still kind of wrestling with, and if it had been bigger or more bombastic in kind of the send off of it, I don't know if I would have.
I think I was expecting smaller. Is
Sure.
the interesting
Okay.
thing.
Well, so what it doesn't do, I don't think this is any spoiler, but it doesn't do a lot to give you closure.
Yeah.
But I think that, and I think that's okay.
Yeah.
It's
It's definitely okay. It was
unexpected.
Like, it's it goes into that line of expectations.
Well,
it's like, oh well, I wasn't expecting that. Is that a bad? Like, is that a con or is that a pro?
Luke and I have kind of talked about, so I know what you're getting at.
Yeah.
And without saying spoilers, it's really hard to explain.
Yeah,
And,
it really is.
And I can absolutely appreciate and kind of wish that there would have been maybe one more beat to kind of fulfill that what I know you've said you've struggled with there. But yeah, just kind of the nonchalantness of. Is that a word? Nonchalant is a
We'll
word.
allow it.
Nonchalantness of so many of the people in this movie about just being at war was just really fascinating to me.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this like war photographer who is struggling has this existential crisis about like, I've done this for a living for 20 years, hoping that it wouldn't happen here. Like it's in the trailer. Every time I took these photographs and sent them home, it was a warning. Don't do this. And so you get to see her journey as they get, closer to the conflict, more into the heart of it and how that affects her. And there's this new photographer who's like kind of this up and coming and starts real green and is exposed to these horrible things and then how she evolves. I just think it's a really fascinating look at what it means to be objective, and how hard it can be to be an objective
like
storyteller.
in the flashbacks they show, it's just like, how could you do that?
Yeah.
How could you take that picture?
Right.
Also, like, I have a question just for journalists out there. Is that like what you're doing? Like, I want to hear somebody who is like was in Afghanistan or Iraq for journalism be like, was this what it was like?
Yeah.
Like, how accurate is this? I'm
Right.
really curious.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really want to see it. I just couldn't get out to see it.
No, you're fine. Real quick.
This feels like a movie I would really enjoy.
I think you would, Tyler. I
Yeah.
would love to have a conversation with you about it afterwards. So, performances are all
Fantastic.
very, very good
Mhm.
across the board.
The like four leads are fantastic, and I think just like the cherry on top, the frosting on the cake, is that you meet people like on their little journey for like 2 to 5 minutes, and they're so good.
Yeah.
Dude, I loved that about like 1917 as well.
Yeah.
Like you see a celebrity, they pop up for a minute and then they're gone. You're like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was cool.
Like just like the journalists, they meet at other camps when they're just like talking to some soldiers they meet. Jesse Plemons.
Dude, I heard a story that he like wasn't even in the movie.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard about this?
Yeah, yeah.
But he's married to Kirsten Dunst.
He got the whoever was
They
in
dropped
that
out.
role dropped out.
And Kirsten Dunst was like, hey, you should just call Jesse.
Killed it. He nailed that. So good.
You know, my
Showed
theory
up like 2
is
days before the shoot.
Yeah.
my theory still stands. If you had Jesse Plemons in the movie, it's awesome.
Him and who's the other guy? He was in here. You guys keep talking. I'll figure it out.
Blake.
Lively.
No. Neil Blake Nelson. No. Was it?
Nope.
what's his
You
name?
guys keep going.
Tim Blake Nelson.
Tim Blake Nelson.
No, that's not who it was.
Okay. I tried. Sound design. There will be so
Yes.
much talk about sound
Lucas
design in
Hedges.
this movie. He just
Oh my gosh, who
rudely interrupts
is it? The dude
us.
from Tokyo Drift.
No.
Oh,
It's this dude. He's in Manchester by the Sea, 3 Billboards, Lady Bird.
oh, and he just
I
pops up in like
mean-
random stuff. And you're like, oh yeah, that guy.
This dude.
Yes.
Yeah. If you add him to your movie, Luke always said if he's
yeah.
in your movie, you're probably winning an Oscar of some
Yeah.
sort.
Fair enough.
He's just like randomly in just
The best
weird
movies.
movies,
Yeah.
but they're
Yeah.
all good. Yeah.
Anyway, yes, sound. And kind of in contrast with that, editing, because I think that those two things, which are super good in this movie, and I just love that you noticed it,
Mm-hmm.
because most of the time I feel like I don't notice editing unless it's bad.
Yeah.
But there's some very deliberate editing and sound mixing choices that honestly, like, I didn't get super emotional during like beats of the movie, but what they do is they pop up a picture that one of the journalists takes up on screen, and it's just a real quick like, oh, like, and it's real quick, like a quick lump in the throat, and then it goes away because all of a sudden you're back in the movie.
Takes that sound completely out of it.
Just
It kinda-
silence, just
But it puts you in that moment even more intensely.
and it's throughout the movie, and I think it's probably my favorite part about the movie.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was just a brilliant choice.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Yeah. And to kind of go along with that, like, that is abrupt and kind of unusual. Just the sound design of the warfare in this was so disruptive. It was loud. It
Loud.
wasn't. You didn't go into this being like, guns are like.
Guns are cool.
Like, you go to like a shooting range and like it's loud, but it's like, it could be fun. I guess I can admit that. Like, you go to a shooting range and you have like a target and you're like, pow pow. It's loud, but like it's also fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, every time a gun fires in this film, you're just flinching.
Dude, I jumped a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
Although, like, half of them were from needle drops because they pop out of silence most of the time. So it felt a little cheap. But yeah, sound was great in this movie. It reminded me of, like, Dunkirk.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just like, I'm thinking about plugging my ears with a gun shoot in this IMAX theater because it's so loud.
I was reading an article that said the audio engineer or whatever was talking about how they didn't limit themselves, like they didn't like meter themselves like you would traditionally.
They just let it rip.
They just let it rip.
Let it rip, tater chip.
It's crazy.
Oh.
But the other thing you mentioned, we both saw it in IMAX. This movie I think it looks gorgeous in
It
IMAX.
looks so good.
And it was not shot on IMAX cameras.
Welcome to IMAX Theaters A24. Welcome.
I just think that goes to show you
Is this
that
their first one?
digital,
Oh, that's cool.
digital camera, like cameras are getting good enough that you don't have to shoot it on IMAX film. A little bit like The Creator last year, right? Like, but they shot that on like a $4,000 camera. Well, this was shot on something nicer than that, but if you have the right cinematographer, the right director, the right production design, like, you can make a movie for that aspect ratio that still looks awesome.
Who DP'd this?
Good question. Let me look it up.
I always like kind of get annoyed at the film digital conversation because it's always people like Christopher Nolan going, you have to shoot on this specific type of Kodak film. And it's like, everybody? Because a digital camera is way cheaper.
Yeah.
Like, can
Way
we
less-
just learn how to make movies
Way
first?
less maintenance. Like,
I'm like, I feel like I'm always listening to these big budget directors just grovel over film, and it's like, great, I love it, keep doing it. But can we let these indie films just save money where maybe they
Yeah.
need to?
Rob Hardy was the DP on this. He's worked on pretty much all of Alex's films in the
Okay.
past.
so he did Min as well.
Uh-huh.
That's the last.
He also
Garland
did
movie I watched.
Mission Impossible Fallout,
Ooh, movie.
Annihilation,
ooh, good movie.
Ex Machina.
Good. It's okay.
2/3 of a movie.
It's good. It's a good movie.
Look,
I
he
just
has-
don't want to dump on it.
He
but
has
like
some on here that he did the Devs TV show.
devs.
Okay.
Is
Devs?
that about making video games?
No.
No.
I watched like the
No,
first
what's
4
that?
episodes.
What show
it was
are
really good.
What show am I thinking of? What's that
You're
show?
thinking of Mythic Quest
Oh,
on
yeah.
Apple.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Also good though.
And completely different.
Yeah.
All that to say, there's some incredibly gorgeous shots. Whether or not you see this in IMAX, cinematography is great.
Mm-hmm.
Lighting is awesome. When the camera gets far, you're like, oh wow, this is like a beautiful wide shot, and then like I love how just American it looks until like there's just smoke, or a building's is like half collapsed, and it's like, oh, that's just a great use of what we think of traditionally, and then putting that war-torn world into what we think is as familiar. But then also when it gets up close, and there's some shots near the end where they're right outside the White House, and Kristen Dunst's character is like really just having an intense moment, and I'm like, oh, like the close up on that. It's dark, it's night. If there's flashes of light from gunfire, I'm like, oh, that's so well done.
Yeah, and like before the show, we had both mentioned the shot of the flower. I won't say more than that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, oh, it's like this is a really hard situation right now, but I really like that shot.
The shot of the forest.
Yeah, man, it is a gorgeous movie.
Yeah.
But
Luke, what about cons?
I do have 2 cons.
Yep.
One is I kind of mentioned it earlier, and that's they go hand in hand. So maybe I just have one big one, or two medium, small, whatever. Needle drops. They're kind of everywhere in this, and I felt like it was just a little too much. I feel like scene ends. Way down Western, I'm walking down road, and it's just like, okay, that was interesting. And
It's
like I can get
definitely-
doing it sometimes,
Yeah.
but like it kind of leads into my other con, which is I don't remember the score. I'm not sure if there is one, and if there was one, I think it was bad.
Generally speaking, if you don't remember it, it's not usually good.
I feel like, and again, this kind of goes back to what we were talking about with how the movie ends. So many of those needle drops, I feel like, are juxtaposition of what was just happening. And while I would agree, nothing like stood out as like, oh, this feels right, or this feels like good. I wonder if that's the point. It's like, okay, here's this. I don't know what we're.
And like I get that, but you can also like I feel like in some of those moments you can emphasize feeling through a score.
Mm-hmm.
And you can still use the needle drops too.
Yeah.
But like there's even the moment in the beginning with the suicide bomber
Yeah.
where it's just silent for like 5 minutes. And I was like, okay, I get it. But I would appreciate some sound now because the air conditioner inside of this IMAX theater is loud. But yeah, just like in the quiet moments, I feel like there could have been
Something.
something musical there.
It
And
does
I
say
was-
that there was a score collaborators, Ben Salisbury and Jeff Barrow, did the score. So there was something there, but it was pretty deliberately under. I don't know.
Yeah. Like
under.
I know this is like a
Under the
completely
cover of
a
darkness.
completely different movie, completely different genre, but it's the same guy.
Yeah.
Annihilation.
Yeah.
What was the thing that sold me on that movie? It was the soundtrack. It was the whatever
Yeah.
that garbage thing was. Ooh,
Right.
it gave me the willies. I love that sound effect, man. But like, I don't need that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, that wouldn't feel right here, but it would maybe something.
Just interject that.
That would have been crazy if Natalie Portman's alien would have shown up in this, though. What if they're all...
That would have been crazy.
And then
It's just an all-connected universe.
Then-
They fight men.
Riley Koo, or whatever his name is, like, poops out a man. What did he do? What's that dude's name? Isn't it Riley?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Ben?
That movie's
Riley?
weird, man.
This movie is much less weird.
This is the least
be
weird
honest.
movie ever.
This is the least weird A24 movie they've ever made.
Lady Bird? No, Minari. Definitely Minari.
Okay, fair enough.
Great film, man.
I'll be honest, I was kind of hoping like you guys would show up and be like, yeah, and then at the end, like this weird alien
just
thing
a
happened.
twist.
Turns out the president was possessed. Is this a political message? Nah.
I don't know if I have any big cons.
It's a perfect movie to Brett.
No, that's not true.
5 out of 5.
But I also don't know what I would.
How many stars you give it?
I have 4 out of 5.
Okay.
I gave it 3.5.
I did see yours.
We can give it our rating.
We
guess,
can.
our
I
fanboy
give
rating.
this a fanboy worthy.
I give it a fanboy rating
Yeah.
as well.
I think it's definitely an intense movie, but it's one I think is valuable to watch at least once for most mature adults.
Mm-hmm.
So don't take Bryn.
Maybe don't
Well-
take Bryn. How bad do you want to scar her?
How much does she pay attention?
She's pretty good at watching stuff.
I'm just
Because
seeing her
look,
sitting there.
it's definitely got like very mature themes, right? Like it's an R-rated movie.
They say the F word.
People get shot in front of
Yes.
you.
There's lots
Violently.
There is lots of shooting.
Does that mean the news is rated R?
No, they usually
They blur that
blur
out.
it
That's
out
true.
and they
Yeah.
bleep stuff out.
Yeah.
That's true.
Come on, man.
And they put up that thing. It's like,
I don't watch the news.
don't watch this if you're a young child. This gets you away with anything, right?
It's disclaimers.
They should just put that up before Fallout. Just make it TV PG. Don't watch this if you're a kid. Head's blowing up.
I don't know. I think maybe my hot take on this is that I think there was a lot of talk before the movie came out that it was like, is this the right film to be showing in the U.S. during a election cycle,
yeah.
right? And
Sure.
my hot take may be actually, I think it's the perfect film to show.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let's get our shit together and not do this, right? Like, this is a warning. I think that's healthy. Every once in a while, to be reminded.
Now
that
say it in your Batman voice. It's a warning.
this is a warning. I can't do the deep and gravelly.
Where are the other drugs?
Sorry
that
to any
Hurry.
audio listeners
that-
who
is
had
that
their
Hoffman?
headphones in.
Can't be trusted. Where are the other drugs? Where are the other drugs going?
Pete Holmes, 10 out of 10. Love
That
it.
is one of the greatest videos on the internet.
It's so good.
It's-
Where are the other drugs going?
It's so
Mother.
So I think
F
Luke and I,
face.
You-
Luke and I both
We're gonna watch that
definitely
after
recommend this movie. Again,
And I trust these guys, so I also recommend it.
it's there's some people who you probably shouldn't watch this. I don't know if my mom could handle this.
If you
but,
want
like,
an intense war journalism thriller,
yeah,
check it out.
check it out. Check it out.
I dig it.
It
Good job,
feels
boys.
like A24 got some big boy money.
Yeah. It also still feels like an
But
A24
it
movie.
does. It doesn't feel out of
It's like, hey, A24, we want you to
Out of scope.
make a war movie. And they're like,
We got you.
I'll do it, but I got to do it my way.
Yeah.
And it's about journalists.
yeah.
It's,
Yeah,
it's
it definitely doesn't like I was was walking out, I was like, "Oh, that doesn't feel like at the end it had like, you know, we thank the United States National Guard or you know, it didn't feel like it was American military propaganda in
Yeah.
there.
Michael Bay did not produce this.
Right,
one.
yeah. It's like, oh, okay, this feels this is kind of unique. It feels very real in a scary kind of way. But
That Pete Holmes Batman skit is definitely a booyah. Agreed.
Truth. Okay. The other thing we all watched this week, we at least all started,
Yeah.
was the new Fallout series on Amazon Prime. Luke has gone ahead and finished it.
I watched it all, baby.
He watched it all, so he can maybe give some further thoughts. But Tyler and I have just watched the first episode.
Correct.
Tyler, why don't you lead us off with your impressions?
I loved it. I think the thing that really shines to me is it sets up 3 clearly later to interweave storylines that I'm interested in all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a 4th one.
Got your vault?
That's true.
Mm.
Kind of leave them behind at first in my mind, but you're right. So there's 4 stories that will interweave. But I don't know. I wasn't sure what I was expecting. Like, I had heard people say it was good. I wasn't expecting as much violence as we got in the first episode.
Yeah, they don't hold back.
But
This is a TVMA.
yeah, but I welcome it. Like, I thought it was. I mean, dystopian world. What do you expect it to be like, right? It's going to be a free for all, and I think that's they capture that pretty well. I thought all the performances in the first episode are pretty solid. I don't think anybody's like a weak link.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot get over the guy who plays Maximus though. I don't know what it is about him, but he, like, in certain shots, like the angles of his face, he looks more like Denzel's son than Denzel's son. And it's super weird. But no, all in all, just early impressions. I really liked what I got, and I can't wait to watch more. And admittedly, I did re-download Fallout 76 after the
Dude,
first
I was thinking
episode.
about downloading it.
Yeah.
It's on Game Pass now.
Yeah, I re-downloaded it because I was like, you know what? I do like this world.
Should we journey into the wasteland?
Sure, let's do it.
But you have stuff already.
I'm like level 6. You'll catch me.
I'm level
pretty.
0.
You'll catch me pretty quick, or I can just start a new character. Doesn't cost.
What a gentleman.
Yeah,
You gonna join? You like multiplayer games,
that's true.
but you're busy. You don't play games
It
anymore.
does have a story, so you might not like it.
Tyler, you want to make this next movie or not?
But no,
Hey, what I'm hearing is Tyler has too much free time. I should give him more responsibility.
no, I just don't go to bed until like 2 a.m. on Friday nights. That's like my time to play.
It's impressive, actually.
That's weird. I do that like every night. It's just not by choice. I just lay in my bed. Just...
With your mouth like that?
How else is your mouth supposed to be when you can't fall asleep?
Oh,
Am I supposed to smile?
I lay down and then I get stuffed up and I.
That's where the spiders go. They're just crawling in there.
I'm hoping one time I get powers from them, but.
Baroque says Brett vs. Story Games is my favorite rivalry on the show. So true. But no, again, really liked what I got. I can't wait to watch more. It was funny when we finished watching the episode last night. We were both kind of bummed that we couldn't keep watching.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Goggins, just good in everything he's in. Yeah, it just never fails. Like, if he's in something, probably gonna really like his performance, and very excited to see the Ghoul a bit more.
Yeah. A great opening
Yeah,
to the show. I really enjoyed the nice, clean setup.
I was thankful it didn't break my heart as much as I thought it was going to.
Sure. Yeah.
Because when he's like the thumbs up thing, I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, it's like this is gonna hurt, but they did it in a pretty tasteful way.
They did. And then the characters that we get to meet in Vault 33, I'm really enjoying those performances.
Mhm.
Yeah, just
Shout out
all
to the
around.
chick who got stabbed in the eye with a fork. That was great.
dude, there were some pretty gnarly
Yeah.
attacks, kills. Sometimes they're kills. You think they're kills, and they're not. All of a sudden, someone's back with their face hanging half off.
Yeah, right?
It's like, oh. But yeah, I
Yep.
think it did a really good job of kind of setting up the world and getting you excited for it. And I have not played the Fallout games, so I kind of come into this as someone who has observed Fallout from afar. But I don't know if it's borrowing from any of those, but from what I understand, this is kind of its own thing set in the future, right? Like, it's... Man, maybe we should do that with more adaptations.
Halo is at home crying right now.
Yeah.
No, so I
And it
saw a
should be.
thing. I saw a thing, and it was talking about, or maybe one of you guys sent
Was it
this,
the Lisa Joy quote?
talking about how like all the
Oh, she
other-
loved Fallout 3 so much. They're like, yeah, we loved playing the games and learning about the universe. And then people are putting it next to the Halo quote. And they're like, we ignored everything from the games.
Oh.
We wanted nothing to do with it.
No, this one is a little different, but it was basically like, Last of Us, this, and some other.
Arcane and Cyberpunk?
Yes, and all of those
Runners.
brought players to their games, like the fan base, And then you have the Halo show
Yeah.
and Halo Infinite and everything that's gone on with that. And it's like, man, it could not be more different.
It's crazy.
But it's like, it just shows you, like, if you put the effort in, if you embrace what makes those things special, it'll find its audience. And like every one of those things that they were talking about found their audiences.
I saw a Todd Howard quote today, and I thought it was awesome. And I think he was talking to IGN, and they were just like, is Bethesda gonna make any more shows? And he's like, I don't know, maybe. I got asked about Elder Scrolls
And he
a
said
lot.
no
And it's always no.
Yeah.
But he's like, the reason we said yes to this one is because it didn't feel like it was forced. Like, it was a good show already. It wasn't, hey, what can we make into a show?
Yeah.
Like, it felt natural.
Well, and I think if you look at the creative team behind it and what they've done in the past too, this fits right in.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I was actually talking to Brendan about that today.
Weird sci-fi cowboy
He was
stuff.
like, how's Fallout? And I was like, well, I really liked it, like the episode I watched. I was like, but also like that team and the stuff they've done in the past.
Yeah.
I was like, I would have been more shocked if it wasn't good.
Yeah.
Honestly. That it has to have the right creative team behind it. Like, I think the BioShock show or movie that's getting made, if it has the right team, could be awesome.
Same with...
If it has the wrong team, it could be a disaster.
Same with Horizon. Same with God of War.
Correct.
Aren't those both Amazon?
Horizon is Netflix, I believe.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that was my reaction, too. That's what we were talking about today.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Yep. You just got to have the right creative team.
Yep.
And a creative team that's willing to embrace what makes those things special. Right? And I love Todd Howard's kind of view on this. Like, we'll make it if it makes sense. Generally, that leads to good things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you've watched the whole thing.
I watched the whole thing.
You know, obviously, don't spoil it, but
Everybody dies.
rip it.
In the beginning, actually.
Oh,
But yeah, I watched the whole thing. I freaking loved it. I think it's amazing. I think it's up there with adaptations like The Last of Us and Arcane. If somebody came up to me and was like, my favorite video game adaptation is the Fallout TV show, I would be like, great choice.
yeah.
Because it is that good.
Dude, I think it was Destin was like, I liked it more than Last of Us.
Yeah.
Like,
I've seen lots of people say it.
Yeah.
And like, I don't discount that at all because this is original.
Yeah.
Like, they're not just adapting the game. But that is also what I love about The Last of Us because I loved the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of the same with like Arcane. Like they had a game. They're like, oh, let's make this story.
Let's use this.
Yeah. But yeah, this show, dude, it is so good. It is fun. It is gory as heck. Oh my, like seriously, like there is some stuff coming up in some of the shows where I was watching, I was just like, I don't know if everybody's gonna like that. And like a lot of the gore is played off as funny.
Okay.
Which I think is very interesting, and it kind of helps a little bit. And then it's really funny, but it's like all dark humor. So that's a lot of fun. I think it's a beautiful show. I think the sets and costumes are awesome. And then just behind all that, you've got Ella Purnell as Lucy, who's awesome, and you've got Walton Goggins as the ghoul, who's just incredible. And like, dude, I freaking every time Walton Goggins is on screen, you're just like, yeah, baby, let's go. I don't care how evil you are, dude. You're the coolest guy. And that it's really cool too because you get two versions of him because you follow him in the past throughout the show. And it is a completely different character than who he is
As the ghoul.
Yeah. And that is just a lot of fun. It's also really nice to just kind of live in the Fallout universe.
Yeah.
It's like kind of see how their world worked and like just experience their technology before it all went boom. The unexpected great thing about the show though for me was the people in the vault. You stick with them the entire season. And I just kind of figured Lucy would leave and that would kind of be that. Especially because there's really no huge actors down there.
Yeah. Yeah, you got the kid from Hannah Montana.
Yeah. Moises Arias. Norm,
He's really good in the
He
first
is-
episode.
he's really good throughout.
Good.
And I was really glad we got to spend time with those characters because just the mystery of the vaults is always very intriguing. What is it in each game? Like, what is this vault?
Yeah.
And I really, really liked the little journey that those vault dwellers went on, specifically Norm and Chet. Freaking Chet.
Oh, Chet.
Freaking Chet.
And Blind Al from Deadpool. She's in there.
Yeah. Betty.
Yeah.
But it is just so much fun. Like, I don't think I can, like, emphasize that enough. Like, you keep hearing how good the show is, and I'm just here to say, yes!
It stays good.
It's good the entire way through, and it's
Yeah,
awesome. And
that's
just,
great.
like, the dude who plays Maximus, who's the Brotherhood of Steel storyline, I'm kind of like you. I've played Fallout 4, and then until I don't, it's always what happens.
Yeah.
So I don't know a lot about the Fallout universe, so kind of just learning about that was very interesting.
Yeah.
And then, like, his character is just so dumb, but he's so lucky, and it's so funny.
Is his performance good?
Yeah,
It is.
everybody's good.
I was gonna say because I really like. That's what I kind of got from him is he is kind of stupid. Like he doesn't really. He keeps failing upward.
So you have the three characters. You have Walton Goggins, who's your shoot 'em up,
Yeah.
who was what everybody does. You have your charisma character, who's Lucy. And you've got your luck character, who's
Okay,
Maximus,
Dude,
who
I
just keeps getting into these situations and getting out of them.
I did
dude,
love
he's so funny.
with Lucy. They're doing like the speech, and then they like go through like her skills, and she's like strength. And
Yeah.
then, like I thought that was so clever.
I have level 1 riflery or
Yeah.
whatever. It's just like, oh, I always signed up for that one first. And then, like, there's the little things you notice too, like the little Easter eggs, like people using, I guess it's not an Easter egg, but like people using pipe rifles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for like, what is the Fat Man? I'm waiting for a Fat Man to show up, just like little thunk, shoot a nuke out. That would be a lot of fun. But yeah, it's
Are super mutants in it?
I don't think so.
Because they call the Ghoul a mutant, and I was like, oh boy.
I mean, he's a mutant.
Right, but I didn't know if they'd go super mutants.
No.
Okay.
Oh, they mention them, but they don't show them.
Okay. I was gonna say I'd be very curious to see how that looks.
I'm sure they'll. You got to escalate your villains,
Yeah.
right? But I finished it last night, and I was honestly kind of bummed.
Really.
I was like, dang, I wish I could just watch this again. It, as of now, like, I know Shogun isn't over, but I think this might be my favorite show so far of the year.
That's awesome.
And, like, Shogun's been great, but it's also very slow.
Yeah.
And
Very different kind of programming as a whole.
Yeah. Like, the complete opposite.
Yeah.
But, hey, you know what one of those other adaptations should just do? Just cast Ella Purnell in it. Because she's the voice of Jinx in Arcane. And she's 2 out of 2. Oh, I don't know, though. She was in that zombie movie. What was that zombie movie? The Zack Snyder one.
Oh,
Army of the Dead?
She's in that. She's the girl in that. That movie is
She's
so,
the kid. She's Batista's kid, isn't
Yeah,
she?
that movie's so bad, dude.
She had
Let's get
another.
the dumbest characters.
She had another significant voice acting role too. She did Jane in Invincible.
Jane. But man, yeah. I give Fallout a booyah
Nice.
with an asterisk. Like, if you don't like super gory stuff,
Oh, sure.
you probably won't watch. But like, it's that good of a show. It is incredible, and I really like even hearing the hype with it. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as I heard.
Yeah.
And just like you're watching, you're just like, this is freaking awesome. Like, I want to download Fallout and play it.
Yeah.
And that's like, I also have Starfield and Skyrim on my Xbox right now, and I'm thinking like, should I keep playing Fallout 4?
I thought about 4, but then I was like,
I should try Fallout 76.
I think I'm gonna play 4 when the next gen update comes out later this month. Is when I'll probably check that out. Because the
10
reason I'm
years
playing,
later?
well, the reason I'm playing 76 is because it's newer,
Yeah.
so it just feels a little better. But when the next gen updates come out for 4, I might do that.
Dude, I'm just watching the trailer now, and I'm just remembering parts from the show now. Oh, so good.
Over in the chat, Baroque says, if Army of the Dead is in the same universe as Rebel Moon, does that mean everyone in Army of the Dead is by default in Rebel Moon?
Doesn't matter. Both movies are bad.
Hey, that comes out this
Part
week.
2 comes out this week.
Yeah, their marketing is doing great, isn't it?
It is real weak. Not selling me on that at all.
Great sign.
It made it had 5.2 billion people watch it, remember? Why would they not invest in this movie?
Well, you have to multiply that by 2.
Ooh, that's right. So 10.4 billion people watched this.
Wait, but you have to multiply that by 2.
That's
how executives work in Hollywood. Idiots.
Yeah, the way Snyder talked about it, it's like this movie is can't miss.
Can't miss.
Spectacle of the year.
Yeah, best movie ever.
I'll watch it.
Are the Rotten Tomato scores out for you yet?
No way.
The Rotten Tomato scores of that come out the day before, guaranteed.
Maybe the day after.
I was just saying, might be, like,
They're gonna wait for that audience score first.
What was hold on, what was Rotten? Sorry, we can move on to actual.
You're gonna look at what the first
news
part was.
stuff. It kind of sounds like we're I'm trying to remember what the first part was. It in the 30s?
I was lower than that. I thought it was like in the teens.
21. Audience score 57. They
Sad.
made it for the fans.
Dear. Oh dear.
Even the fans
No,
sound
you
on
did.
it.
Even the fans said no thank you.
And the fans were like, "Oh my gosh,
Till we get 2, we have to sit through
what
2
did my cult
of
leader
these?
do?" I can't agree to this.
All right, so let's move over to some news. What do we got to report this week?
Well, we got one that just like kind of came out earlier as people thought, but it just got confirmed.
Huh?
Keanu Reeves is playing Shadow in Sonic 3.
Nice.
Yeah, we
Can't
got a
wait
whole
to
bunch
not
of
see it.
Paramount things. We'll
Yeah.
see it because Claire loves those Sonic movies.
I liked the first one. I still haven't seen the second one.
I thought the first one was mediocre.
Agreed.
I love the Olive Garden bit though.
and I think the second one is also like it's okay.
I liked Jim Carrey.
Hey,
just liked
he
seeing-
keeps coming back.
I
so.
just liked seeing Jim Carrey.
He's found his new
He's just
golden goose roll.
He's just Dr. Eggman now.
Yeah.
What a name. Dr. Eggman. Somebody in chat, give me the lore on Eggman. Just post it. Why is he called the Eggman?
Because of his
Shape of his body?
the shape of his body and ships. Dr.
But
Robotnik.
why?
It's just how he does it. So there was some other Paramount news though, right, Luke?
Yeah, I got some bullet points written down, and we're starting with the one I'm most excited about. We're getting a Transformers G.I. Joe movie confirmed.
Yeah, baby.
Definitely was alluded to there at the end of the last Transformers movie, but
I'll be there day one. I don't even care about G.I. Joe, straight up.
I've never seen a G.I. Joe movie.
lucky you. They've all kind of sucked, I think.
I want to watch the one where they blow up the ice back down or whatever.
Oh, the first one?
Yeah. You told me about it now.
The Channing Tatum one?
Yeah, I need to see it.
There's 2 Channing Tatum.
He
G.I.
dies
Joes,
in the
so-
second one in like the first 5 minutes. Spoilers. I don't think you'll care.
G.I. Joe Retaliation.
Here's the thing, though. The second one, was that Retaliation?
Mm-hmm.
Like, not a good movie. It's The Rock and Bruce Willis, and it's weird. But there is an awesome cliffside fight scene that is like just worth watching on YouTube. It's like, okay, whoever did this cooked. Like, this is awesome.
Someone cooked here.
Like, I remember being 14 or whatever when that came out. I was just like, am I liking this? Like, this is super cool.
Yeah, I've not seen any of those, but I'm excited for this. And then I guess Transformers, what's the new one called?
One.
One.
It's animated, I think.
Apparently looks awesome.
Yeah, it's getting a lot of hype.
Yeah. Excited for that trailer to come out.
Very excited. There's lots of trailers at CinemaCon that it's
Dude,
just like,
Paramount went hard in the paint.
would like to see that trailer, but I guess I'm not rich enough.
Paramount did announce
Oh yeah, I have 3 other things.
the last Ronin movie.
Yeah.
Ninja Turtle,
Ninja
live,
Turtle
action.
live action film.
Little disappointed, honestly,
What?
that it's live action.
Oh, and not animated.
I'm curious. Yeah.
Like, did we not just learn a lesson? The last movie did really good. Like, and is
How-
very well
how
received.
did the-
Well,
how did
there
we-
is a sequel to that movie coming out too.
Yeah, I know, but like sometimes animation is just the way to go. It's the way to go. It's giant turtles fighting.
See,
One giant turtle in this one.
Well, there'll be other giant things, I'm sure. Giant ninja, giant sausage. I don't know. I haven't read it.
Shredder's kid, grandkid.
Giant kid,
No, he's like a normal human-sized person.
small kid because he's next to a giant turtle.
No, he's pretty normal size. Like,
okay,
talking like 6
we're let's keep it going. I don't.
We
be here
talking
all night.
6 foot or 5'11"?
Good
There's
lord.
a big difference. here.
Good lord.
I'm excited for this.
I'm excited.
What's next?
Just the live action was like, oh. The Running Man, directed by Edgar Wright, starring Glenn Powell.
Oh yeah, this was like rumored for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down.
Cool.
I like
Sweet.
Edgar Wright.
I like Edgar Wright,
Yeah.
so
They talked
Let
a
him
lot
cook.
about the new animated Avatar, The Last Airbender
yeah.
movies.
Yeah,
They kind of talked about who they're casting and who's coming back and who's new.
isn't Batista the villain?
Batista's the villain.
Yeah.
Dante Bosco's returning as Zuko, and they announced who's going to be the older version of Aang. I don't have the name written down, but hey, I'm here for it. So I love Avatar: Last Airbender animated stuff. And then they talked about the new Star Trek movie, which is still in the Kelvinverse, which is Chris Pine's movies. I really hope they can just give this a good send off.
yeah.
Not that Star Trek Beyond wasn't a great send off, but we've been hearing about this movie for like 8 years now.
For the longest, this was canceled.
Yeah,
Then they were like,
it
"We're
was-
doing
You
it."
still haven't seen all these, have you?
I think I've seen the first 2.
Yeah, you haven't seen
You
Beyond.
haven't even seen the best one.
Beyond's awesome.
Dude, it's so good.
I'm just gonna keep you here tonight. We're gonna put that in.
I'm gonna beat you up. What? You know I couldn't beat you up.
What's next?
That's all I have for Paramount. But there was other announcements at CinemaCon, and one of those was with Lionsgate, and they announced 2 movies, and these couldn't be more opposite.
Perfect.
Blair Witch is coming back,
Oh yeah,
and everybody said, "Oh,
I think isn't James Wan helping with this?
That sounds right.
I saw some big director posted about being a part of this team.
Christopher Nolan."
Hey,
That would
he does
actually
wanna do
be
He does
interesting.
want to do a horror film.
I
The
think
other,
it's Wan.
oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
The other thing that Lionsgate said they announced was they're teaming up with Margot Robbie to make a Monopoly movie. Is Margot Robbie gonna play the old man, Mr. Moneybags?
I sure hope so.
Dude, I'm down. How about a Miss Moneybags?
So is she just like going after the like toys market?
Hey, whatever works.
That's interesting. I'm in.
I don't care as long as Margot Robbie
Yeah,
keeps making movies. She's good at it.
Yeah, she is good at making movies.
She's
I'm
a good producer too. So
Yeah.
keep doing your thing.
The toys thing is definitely in its upswing. Just
Yeah.
in terms of like, oh, that's a product.
It's an IP that
It's
we
an
know.
IP that we know. Well, guess what? Guess what we can do? Not only are we going to sell movie tickets, we're going to sell
Board games.
board games. We're going to sell
They're gonna sell Monopoly.
merchandise.
The game,
It's merchandise,
the
right?
movie,
Like
the
it's
game.
a tie-in
Yeah, baby.
synergy.
Might buy that one.
Yeah, no, I mean it's from a corporate standpoint, it makes complete sense.
Yeah, of course. I'm in.
Smile 2. Did you guys ever see Smile?
I haven't
No,
watched Smile.
I
I,
didn't
heard
watch
it was
Smile.
actually not bad though.
I
Yeah.
feel like that's a movie you guys would watch. So
I don't know. The marketing for that was pretty great.
Yeah,
just the dudes at the baseball
Yeah,
games.
like random people at games smiling. That was kind of neat.
Superman, the Christopher Reeve story. This is a documentary about Christopher
that's
Reeve.
right.
I am very, very excited to see this.
This will be cool.
Yeah, dude,
And
this
sad.
is gonna be really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's all I have.
Speaking of Superman, we got the Superman logo revealed officially.
Yeah,
Officially official.
it's
Yeah,
officially
They
official.
showed the picture of it,
Mm-hmm.
not on the suit, just the actual logo.
Mm-hmm.
It is exactly what everybody thought it looked like. from the image they've revealed. So
Everybody's like,
yeah, like I don't know. It's not really much of a story, but we did see it. I like it. I think it's kind of neat.
Margot Robbie Jigsaw puzzle movie is
Gonna be lit.
gonna be lit.
What else can we give Margot Robbie?
Trying to hold the
Monopoly,
sneeze back.
jigsaw puzzles.
Can we just give her the role of Harley Quinn again?
Just a top.
Oh, I would like that.
Just a roll about a top, or that's what they're called, right? Tops. You spin them. Now I'm saying top, and it feels really wrong. Like that's not what the toy is. That is what the toy is, right?
Can I borrow your top?
I'm so confused right now.
I have a couple little stories here.
Yeah.
So Skybound Entertainment kind of made news today. They rolled out like a fan. They're doing a fan backed video game for Invincible.
The comic?
I think they're basing it on the comic. Yeah.
Okay.
AAA is their hope. But
Not quadruple A.
crowdfunding campaign to develop a AAA game set in the Invincible universe launched today. It's already surpassed its goal of $50,000 with $445,000 currently raised. But in the newsletter that they had put out, they accidentally revealed, and since have taken this down, they've renewed Invincible for 4 and 5 seasons. So kind of cool. I still haven't watched season 2.
Boy, it's amazing how much that split in season 2 turned me off from. Like, I don't even care about finishing season 2 right now, and I've heard it's good.
Yeah, I've heard
it's. Okay.
I've heard it's okay. I've heard it's good. I've heard pretty mixed reviews.
things.
I've
So,
not heard
yeah.
anybody say it's bad though.
Which
Which I think is good.
A year ago, I would have been way more excited about this news.
Yeah, I mean it took them 3 years. Yeah,
Just
3 years.
seems-
They're also working live action movie too.
It just,
A little too much Invincible for me.
yeah.
There was rumors for a long time that Apple owned the rights to Invincible's live action. I don't know if that's true or not still.
Well, Seth
but-
Rogen's doing it. The same guy that's doing the animated show.
Rogen's doing the animated show?
Yeah.
I didn't know
Well,
that.
he produces it. Writes it, I think. Helps with it.
I knew he was Alan. And I thought he was just an EP. I didn't know he was writing on it. Huh.
I think he's something.
I'm sure.
I don't know.
I believe it. If he's in it in any capacity, he's probably doing something with it. Here's a fun story that I know everybody's excited about. Star Wars Outlaws. We got our story trailer
Oh,
last
dude,
week.
right.
This week
I never watched that.
it was revealed that the Jabba the Hutt mission is locked behind a season pass for a single player game.
Dude, the deluxe edition of that game is $110.
Yeah, and then the version of that for like 160.
Like, honestly, do I want this game? Do I want to feed Disney EA's corporate greed?
I don't mind. So first off, yeah, I think it's. Ugh, why does this game need a season pass or whatever? I think it's kind of dumb.
Why don't they let me beat the game, and if it's good, I can give them a tip?
Yeah. Well, that was not a tip. Not a tip.
A $20 tip because this game was so... Dude, who... Was that the Blizzard guy?
Yeah.
Gate
Mike Ybarra or whatever. I think he was.
Gate
Yeah. Yeah. Oof. No, I thought you were going to say and give them $10 for more DLC or something like that. It's like,
No.
I do that. Take me back to 2007, baby. Oh,
Why don't they just give
we
me
were
the
so
game?
innocent.
Give me the game.
Yeah, I would have less of an issue with this if the Jabba stuff wasn't just front and center in all their marketing. I just feel like that's the image that I'm seeing everywhere for marketing right now, is that, and I'm like, okay, but then if it's not in the actual game, if you're in the actual game, if it's not in the base version of the game, I struggle more with that.
I haven't even watched the trailer yet.
I think the trailer looked good. I mean, we talked about it last week, Ty.
It looked kind of
didn't
neat.
we? It was like it's pretty standard.
Yeah,
Scoundrel.
You called it
scavenger.
Solo.
Yeah, it's Solo. It feels like Solo.
I just like
Just
that.
with a new character.
Yeah.
I just like the commando droid in the trench coat. That's literally my favorite thing.
It is pretty cool.
It looks so cool.
Pretty cool.
Robots in coats.
I've been rewatching Visions, and so like my bar for Star Wars right now is really high because those stories are just so good.
Until they get to the stop motion ones and they're bad.
Look, Luke hates everything. No. Yeah, bad. I feel like they had really good optics on this, and just like every other game publisher right now, they immediately tanked it with some of this stuff.
Yeah, they're not doing themselves any favor.
Well, yeah.
Favors.
Maybe there'll be a $200 version that comes with your own lightsaber.
I just hope that after you beat the game, a little screen pops up and says, "How much would you like to tip?" 15, 25, 36%?
No thanks. Be my answer.
We live in a society.
Here's
That's
my
the movie I want to see, Luke becoming the Joker.
Here's my favorite news story of the week. Upcoming SpongeBob movie director says, quote, "There will be nudity," end quote.
Good.
I love that quote.
Good. It's a SpongeBob movie. He's a sponge. Should be nude, right?
That dude is like, I know how I'll get people to watch this movie. I'm going to say something off the wall, and people are going to pay attention now.
His publicist is like, this is either the best idea, it's going
Or
to
the
rocket me,
absolute
or
worst.
this is going to take me forever. One or the other, I don't know. We're going to take a swing.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah. Oof. I don't have any news stories. You guys have covered them all. So, fish boobies, finally. Oh, no. Oh, no.
My leg!
Not a fish.
There are fish in Bikini Bottom.
There are fish in Bikini Bottom.
But it didn't say SpongeBob would be nude?
No, it said there will be nudity in the SpongeBob movie.
Oh. There you go. SpongeBob is a sponge.
Yeah.
Class Porifera. Patrick is a starfish.
Starfish. What's the squirrel's name?
Sandy.
Sandy is a squirrel.
Sandy Cheeks.
Yeah, Sandy Cheeks. That's gonna be the nudity. Sandy
Oh,
Cheeks.
no. Oh, this is...
Sandy's Cheeks.
No.
This
They're
is terrible.
just really hoping to get like the furry population into the theaters to see this movie.
Yeah, that might work actually.
Oh,
It's all right, I will
we
not be
have
there.
Completely gone
Me
off the
either.
rails. Wow, it's already 9:24.
So some weekly updates.
Yeah, what do you guys do this week?
So I rewatched a movie that I really like, and I feel like if you really just want something lighthearted and fun, Teen Titans Go to the Movies, man. If you want to hear Warner Brothers make fun of themselves and DC and Marvel cross over in the strangest ways, it's the movie for you.
Yeah.
Michael Bolton, baby.
One of the best Stan Lee cameos.
One of the best Stan Lee cameos. Love the bit where Balloon Man's like, "Oh, I know, you guys are the Guardians of the Galaxy." There's so many great moments. The Batman v Joker Yawn of Justice poster in the background during one scene is good. The whole, like, commentary on there's just too many superhero movies. Like, everybody's getting superhero movies. Like, it's just so awesome. And I recommend it. The music's also really good.
I need to watch that again.
It's been really fun. Bryn is obsessed. And it's
Does she understand the implications
No.
of them recreating the Batman?
No.
Okay, not yet.
Not yet. But that is the...
That is such a dark scene.
It's one of the wildest, like the most out-of-pocket scenes. Yeah. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, dude, that movie is wild.
And of course, there's the crystals.
The crystal scene is so good. But I think, like, it's really funny. So there's a song called My Superhero Movie, and it's Robin singing about getting his own movie. And then one part in the song, he says, "I'll shake my booty in my own movie." So Bryn refers to that song when we're in the car. She's like, "Daddy, I want Robin's booty." So when she says Robin's booty, we have to play that song. And it's just, I don't know. It's so funny. But highly recommend that movie. If you've not seen it, it's a lot of fun.
Nice. Awesome. To stay... You got anything
Oh,
else?
I beat Suicide Squad.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyways,
How was it?
it's a
Your
game.
thoughts haven't really changed since...
It's a straight to streaming.
Yeah.
I will say this: the people who were like, "Wait, that's it," when you beat it, they're pretty clearly telling you you're gonna do what you do. You're gonna kill Brainiac, and then there's more versions of Brainiac to kill later.
Classic.
They set you up the whole story to tell you that. So I don't understand why people are like, "Well, I can't believe the game ended there." Well, then you just really weren't paying attention. They tell you the whole game that's what you're gonna do. It's I don't know. Much like the title tells you what you're going to do, and the people who are upset about the Justice League getting killed,
Oh yeah, it's like
the end is
This
very
is
well
pretty
telegraphed.
well, yeah,
like it's like,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
this is what we're doing. It's like, okay,
I mean, to be fair, they're kind of upset ever since they announced the title
They
of
were.
the game.
they were. But then people were like, I can't believe we just killed the Justice League like that. It's like, sorry, I don't know what you expected, but Deadshot's my favorite character, hands down. That is, I can firmly state that.
sweet.
And I haven't uninstalled it. When I have
Yeah.
like 10 minutes, I'll go on and play it for a second and then hop off.
Nice.
Because you can like do a incursion pretty quickly.
Nice. Cool. Keeping in the DC world, pretty much the only thing I did that's worthy of being mentioned here is I watched My Adventures with Superman this week.
The whole thing?
The whole thing.
So
Finished
good.
It. So good.
So good.
So good. Ah. Yes.
good.
Yes. Go watch that.
Yeah.
That's all.
Just sold Flavor for $5 million.
So good.
What? That's one that I'm like, I may get Claire and I may rewatch this.
The only bits in that show that I think are kind of... Because I was watching it with Bryn. The last few episodes are pretty violent.
They're pretty violent, but
But Claire's old enough
I think
that
she can
should
handle
be
it,
fine.
yeah.
Hey, Claire, look.
Like,
yeah.
even with Bryn, I was like, I'm probably going to turn this off. I'll watch it later.
Yeah, let's switch to the boys.
Yeah.
For
animated one.
Fallout.
Yeah.
Pay
no,
attention. This is what happens when you're exposed to nuclear radiation.
Yeah, what a just a fun kind of reintroduction to Superman.
Yeah.
I feel like after all these years, and I'm sure there are other shows, and we've talked a little bit about like Superman Lois and how there are these kind of unique pockets of who Superman is, and I think oftentimes we get kind of locked onto what is the cinematic version of Superman. It's the only one that really matters. Well, it doesn't, right? Like there are all these versions out there.
Are you
and-
saying that we have been brainwashed by Superman and Batman canon?
Yes.
Because that's what Zack Snyder said this week.
Ooh.
He said, I think people have been brainwashed by canon. Sorry, I had to derail it there for a second.
Yeah, no, that's very classic Luke. But I think I guess what I'm saying is, I think we all get too attached. I think a lot of people get too attached to what is canon and what is not canon. My point being that I think Snyder's version of Superman is a fine exploration of the character, but it's not the only one, and it shouldn't be the penultimate one of the last 10 years. Like, there are great versions of Superman that are out there in media that we can, like, fall in love with.
Yeah.
And Snyder's was an interesting experiment, and that's okay. And we don't need to get so attached to a version of the character that everything else is garbage.
No, not on the internet.
No, I know.
There's
That's
only
too-
one
too
perfect
much. Yeah.
thing. The rest sucks.
Yeah.
Anyways, great show. Go watch it.
I'm with you. I didn't want to spoil it when we talked about it a couple weeks ago, but I really love that version of his appearance on Earth, his first contact.
Yeah.
And kind of where it puts him mentally in
Mhm.
those last few episodes is really good.
Yeah.
And I liked it a lot. That's why I was saying, like, and you kind of think about the synopsis that's been revealed for the new Superman movie, is it sounds like there's a little bit of that in there,
Mhm.
where it's like he kind of questions, okay, like, where do I fit? And, like, that's
Yeah.
obviously part of Superman. It's in almost every iteration.
Yeah.
But, like, the way they use it in My Adventures with Superman is really interesting. And I would love to see that explored in similar or, new ways all the time. Because I think it's really good.
Agreed. Luke, what'd you do this week?
I kind of talked about the main stuff. Like I've watched all Fallout, watched
Mhm.
Civil War, but I spent a lot of time playing the Into the Light update in Destiny.
Nice.
And they added the Onslaught mode and a bunch of old weapons that were the entire reason for sunsetting are back. So it's been, well, some of them are back.
Yeah.
Slow rollout, but
You're right.
no, I've been playing the Onslaught activity and it is a ton of fun. I don't play the Legend mode like all the super gamers out there, but it's a horde mode and it can last a long time and it gets pretty difficult, even I'd say in the normal version. And it is a lot of fun. Been having a blast.
Nice. Good.
Noise.
It did help that like the Final Shape showcase got everybody hyped.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, let's play.
Gets the population back up. Everyone's a little
Yeah.
bit excited. There's new things to do, new things to
Mhm.
guns to try, and things to chase. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
Plus, dude, the new guns look so good.
Yeah, they are pretty.
And they're super rare, so when you get one, you're like, it's the ultimate high.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, it's garbage, dude.
This is a horrible roll.
But yeah, been a lot of fun.
Very cool. All right. Well,
No fan box.
we
What?
didn't ask people. We
What?
only get
Read
we
that
only get
tweet. Read the
questions.
first tweet and turn it into a fan box question.
Read the very first tweet that I pull up on Twitter,
Yes.
and I have to turn it into a fan box
Yes.
question. Okay, let's see. It's loading now. Da, 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 da. I don't know how to.
What's the tweet? Is it an ad?
No. So many big brands are reposting my content of the WNBA draft right now. I remember years of people questioning why I wanted to focus so heavily on women's sports, and it's because genuinely I love it.
Is it
And
a
I hope
Caitlin
that
Clark
shows through
thing?
in my work. No.
Oh. So what's the question? Lay it on me, baby.
Oh, here. How about this? Since the first one is WNBA themed.
What is your favorite WNBA team?
Washington Mystics.
Whichever team Caitlin Clark goes to, I'm just gonna hop on that bandwagon
Indiana
right
Fever.
away.
That's who she plays for.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, Indiana Fever.
What if they do
Perfect.
something crazy though?
No, she got drafted already.
Oh, she did.
Yeah.
They had the draft.
The internet's on fire because of her salary.
Yeah, it's happening today.
Yeah, it's tonight. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool! Congratulations.
Her teammate, number 20, showed up to the draft to support Caitlin Clark and got drafted in the first round. It's a really cool little clip. But yeah,
Nice.
she
Awesome.
went one overall. They actually showed a video of her WNBA talk of her the Indiana Fever players were at like a draft watch party at the arena. And like they all had like,
They're like,
they already
"Woo."
had jerseys made, and like as soon as they announced it, they were all fired up and they were holding the
Dude,
jerseys up and stuff. It
They
was pretty
knew the
cool.
moment she
Oh yeah,
declared or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
They're like,
yes. Yeah.
and that one person who was the previous best player on the team was like, yes.
Well, now they might make the playoffs, so they'll probably be pretty excited.
They're going undefeated. No.
They'll be pretty good. That'll be a huge help
Dude,
for them.
she's really good.
She is.
But yeah,
she's fun to watch.
I'm just gonna join that bandwagon because there's no local team for me. So,
Yeah.
and if Kansas City eventually gets one or Wichita, I don't know, but
Dude, that'd be sick.
dude,
I would love that.
I'd obviously join that. So.
Yeah, I would too. Right now, it's the Mystics, though. We won a championship a few years back. I didn't
Congrats,
watch
man.
it, but
Nice.
I don't think a lot of people did.
Yeah,
No offense to the WNBA.
no, it doesn't
Oh,
get a
that's
lot
something
of
I did
airtime.
this week. I watched Ryan Gosling on SNL, and Caitlin Carr actually
She
made
showed
it.
up.
She showed
Yeah,
up
I
for
saw
Weekend
that.
Update. That was a great little bit.
I watched the Beavis and Butthead thing on Twitter.
It was so funny. As a graphic designer, I really appreciated. It was cut for time, but they released online the Avatar 2,
The Papyrus.
Papyrus 2,
Yeah.
follow up to his first one.
Dude,
that's so good.
The Beavis and Butthead one though, it's honest to me. It's like a perfect bit or skit or whatever, because it involves your guest and they just don't really have to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was mainly what are their names? Keenan Thompson
Thompson
and the girl, the
Mhm.
lady.
Mhm.
Like it's kind of them, and it's just Ryan Gosling sitting there.
Yeah. But
it's so funny.
It's so funny, and then getting them, and then the little bit of breaking. Gosling broke quite a bit on the show. It was this week. It was
when
good.
she broke though, when
Yeah.
the other dude showed up, when Butthead
Butthead.
showed up, dude, it was so funny.
I didn't see this. Dana sent it to me. I don't think I ever watched it.
We'll have to watch it because
It's
it's
good.
very good.
Yeah. So, Baroque says KC is getting a volleyball team. KC, I think their women's soccer team their season just opened not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the KC Current Stadium was the first
ever dedicated female stadium.
women's football soccer
Sports
stadium. So
That's awesome.
that's
Yeah.
fantastic. We have the latest version of FIFA, and so Claire and I play as the KC Current. a
FIFA
lot.
23, or do you have
24.
FC 24?
Yeah, FC 24,
Nice.
whatever it is.
Nice.
So that's been fun. But that's neither here nor there. All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in this evening over on Twitch. Baroque, appreciated all the chat. Maybe watch it on YouTube or listen via podcast. And no matter what, feel free to drop us a comment on a fan box question. Apparently, we don't ask for them enough. So,
When was the last time we even tweeted? Whatever.
The
We make our own questions.
the algorithm hates us. So,
No, it doesn't. We just don't tweet. It's not a blame. None of us do it. I don't even tweet from my account.
That's true.
You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna look up my mom called me.
What was your last tweet? Maybe that should be our fanbox question.
What was my last tweet?
Yeah.
This is a fun exercise. I'm in.
Profile.
Love how we already did this whole thing.
My actual tweet or a repost?
Actual tweet.
Oh, I tweeted my Dune Part 2 letterbox picture.
Oh, mine is actually Baroque. Are you still here? So my last tweet was, Hayes continues to look so lost at the plate. What happened? #Birdland. So then I almost called you Brandon. Baroque tweeted at me and says, I know you're talking about baseball, but every time I see #Birdland, I get this jam stuck in my head. And he sent me this jazz track from the Weather Report called Birdland. Super good. Thank you for sending me that. I watched the whole thing, all 7.5 minutes of it. It was freaking sweet. Thank you for sending me that.
Here's my actual last tweet. That is
Okay.
not just a
Like
picture or whatever.
I just pooped.
It was actually back in the. Oh, my mom called by accident. Hey, Mom. Back in the day, whenever I took just a nasty dump, I would just tweet out the word Shazam.
This pod is getting too real.
So if you ever go look in my Twitter feed and go back and see a bunch of Shazam tweets, I was struggling. I was fighting for my life. No, my
This is
actual
awesome news.
my actual tweet. February 29th.
Oh.
Leap Day.
Yeah.
I feel truly blessed to be alive while Christopher Nolan and Denis Villeneuve are making movies. I just walked out of Dune.
Dune, yeah. My last one was the first official poster for The Broken Door. I posted that on March 2nd. So.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah. Okay, now we're going to end the show. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Shazam!